We always talk about at this racetrack, Eddie, you and I both know it, but it's especially hard here this year because of the high heat.
Down the front straightaway again. The top four, those separated by no more than a car length and a half between each position. And that first group of cars, about the first 10, are trying to separate from the middle group. It is Briscoe, followed by Hinchcliffe, then Andretti, Ryan Hunter-Reay. Tony Kanaan has now moved into the 5th spot. Then it's Elio Castroneves, Joseph Newgarden, Will Power, Alex Tagliani, and Graham Rahal. That is your top 10 right now. Here we go again, down the front straightaway, the drafting that the guys were talking about. Hinchcliffe going to take the lead.
We're going to be seeing this all day long.
Behind him.
And what I love about this, guys, as I look out from our broadcast window, nobody has sat down in their seats since the green flag.
I haven't sat down.
All of a sudden, Hinchcliffe, look at the gap he has opened up, and now the battle is for third. The two Andretti Autosport teammates, that is Ryan Hunter-Reay in the yellow and white car going down low underneath. Marco Andretti, and he takes the spot.
Very difficult as a race driver to sit behind a car in front, but Eddie, you and I talked this month that maybe that might be the best thing to do to try and conserve fuel. Remember, new cars, new engines, a lot is being learned here by the driver driving as we see another draft going on again. Ryan Briscoe returning the favor and makes a nice pass underneath the green machine, as we like to call it, the GoDaddy car, James Hinchcliffe.
You know what they're doing that is very bright is that they are actually helping each other because they're not trying to put any obstruction in, and they're actually gaining on the group.
Down the backstretch, it's Hinchcliffe trying to reel back in. Ryan Briscoe a little bit deeper in that 10th spot is Graham Rahal as we go on board momentarily with Ryan Hunter-Reay. Let's get more on what's going on with Graham Rahal from Vince Welch.
Third place finisher a year ago, currently running 10th. Marty, as you mentioned, the last thing you want is a problem early, but Rahal reported his fuel light is blinking.
I've got a piss out low fuel alarm. Stay out, stay out. Do not worry about it. Ignore the fuel pressure alarm. Ignore it.
Obviously, Marty's got plenty of fuel, but I'm sure Scott and Eddie would attest the last thing you want is your driver worrying about something mechanical this early in the race.
Well, it can really take away from your focus sometimes. You see his head bopping down, probably looking down, trying to figure out what's going on inside the car. I assure you that car was completely full with 18.5 gallons of fuel, but you have to put that out of your mind, put it in a different department, and just work on the car, because you know the crew will tell you when you need to come in for your pit stop for fuel.
That's exactly what they did. They told him, don't focus on that.
This time, Hinchcliffe not close enough to make the dive down into turn number 1. We're on board. Through turn 2, and again, we've seen that pattern. Once you get through 1, they seem to open up that stretch down the backstretch, and then the second place car seems to close in 3 and 4.
If this first group of 4 start working together like the first 2 are, they might actually be able to put a distance between the pack behind them.
And that's what we should do as a race driver, Eddie. But as you know, when you're sitting inside that cockpit, you just want to go fast. You want to pass the car in front of you. Now, for sure, the team is telling the drivers, let's settle into a pace. Let's understand what our fuel mileage is going to be with this new 2.2-liter engine.
Well, as these guys continue to duke it out, it has been Ryan Briscoe and James Hinchcliffe giving us one heck of a show. Hinchcliffe is right now in second, but by the time you come back, if we go side by side, he could be at first.
I'm here with Danica Patrick, driver for GoDaddy.com.
Great to be with you.
So, is it true that GoDaddy.com is taking you off of their homepage?
Huh? When it comes to registering domain names, building, and hosting websites, it's GoDaddy.com and Danica. What is that?
Build your website and vote Hinch for homepage. Now at GoDaddy.com.
Really?
Every day, hundreds of thousands of men and women around the world and back home sacrifice to defend our country and the ideals of good. This is General Richard Myers, retired chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, for raising and nurturing the finest with whom we've all been privileged to serve. Thank you, America.
So my travel rewards used to be little hotel shampoos. But now with Expedia Rewards, I earn points for any hotel and any flight. Yes! Yes! Expedia.com. Yes!
You don't play for stats or records or awards. Your records will be broken, but this is permanent.
Thursday, June 28th, whether it's hotties or nerds,
Oh my God!
heroes, bachelorettes,
I'm still single!
or even mud people, all will wipe out. All new Wipeout returns for the summer, Thursday, June 28th on ABC.
The great thing about side-by-side, you saw the pass by Marco Andretti around James Hinchcliffe, putting him into the second position. Let's listen in on James's radio. We might know why.
Yeah, just sitting behind him and breathing a little bit. You're getting really good fuel mileage, so just keep doing this.
So he's talking about fuel mileage already. Oh, we got a yellow. As the 69 car, or the 39 car, I should say, that's Brian Clausen. He has spun
at the line.
And we have our first yellow at the day here on lap 14.
Nah, started. I just need to start. I didn't hit anything. 10-4, we'll set up the pit lane here. We got tires set out. We'll get a start.
Didn't hit me.
Great save, great save.
He's got a flat left front. You can see the hole right there where he flat spotted the tire.
And Brian's such a great driver with all his experience that he has. As we're going to watch a replay here. Down low, looks like he might have got in just a little bit early and a little bit low on the white line, Eddie, and the car came around. And I cannot believe he did not hit the wall.
This reminds me of 1985. The spin in the very same spot. That's where Danny Sullivan spun right in front of Mario Andretti. All right, as we get ready for pit stop action here on lap 15, we can tell you the two Lotus cars, they've been struggling with getting enough speed. They did not meet the 105% minimum. Both Jean Alesi and Simona Di Silvestro have been black flagged and brought in. Now they can try and do something to get back out and get above that limit, but it looks like Alesi is already climbing out.
I don't think he wants to get back into it either. It's been a very long month for Alesi and Lotus, and they're just not quite there.
But Eddie, we spoke to him yesterday, and he said he loves this race. He wants to come back next year, maybe in a more competitive car, and maybe Lotus turns around and improves their engine.
So now we'll find out who wants to stop and take fuel, maybe change tires, work on the adjustments, as we'll be coming up on the completion of lap number 15. Everybody is coming in, so let's send it down to Vince Welch as he gets ready for Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan likes his race car. He says it's a little bit fidgety coming out of turn 4, but otherwise he's comfortable with the way it's handling. They did have a little bit of a radio problem prior to the race. He had to change his earphones, but otherwise it's been smooth sailing for Tony Kanaan. He pulls the 11 in. Kanaan has led this race 7 times before. Today it's his 11th start at the Indianapolis 500. No changes, 4 tires. Jamie.
On the box for Ryan Briscoe as a quick stop because he didn't want any changes. The car was that good. On the left-hand side, James Hinchcliffe. We have trouble on pit road, guys. Dario Franchitti has issues, Marty.
And we talk about mistakes being oh so costly in this race, and Dario has the first one for Target Chip Ganassi Racing. And they are already taking the front nose section off.
Got plenty of time.
Oh, he got punted.
got punted and the front nose went into the tires that were sitting there, so they'll smartly change the nose in case there was any damage.
That was E.J. Vizo in the 5 that got into it.
If he's going to have a problem, he obviously did, this is the perfect time to have it at the beginning of the race because he can fight his way back, and there was nothing really terminal. That just goes to show you how crowded the pits are.
On board with Dario.
Now watch his hands on the right-hand side. You know, you're expecting going smoothly, Eddie, as we always calculate this. Turns, the back end comes around, a quick response by Dario, and right now he's going, what in the world was that?
And we hear that Newgarden has stalled in the pits. Jamie?
He was stalled there for an extended period of time. They're trying to figure out what exactly went wrong. He just got it fired. He is down and away. Remember, this is a rookie making his first start here, but a lot of pressure on his shoulders. He has a fast race car underneath him, but he has some time to make up now, Marty.
All right, so he gets back out onto the racetrack. It is James Hinchcliffe who got out first here at Indianapolis, the 500, just into lap number 16.
There's something about cars. We connect with them. We talk about them. We share them. It's the same feeling that drives Pennzoil to tirelessly pursue the latest advances in oil technology. Because a car is more than just a car. They're part of us. Long, love cars. Not just oil. Pennzoil.
PCS arm switches on.
The crossover. A rolling embodiment of compromise. We can save it. We have the technology. Capable of building a crossover worth driving with breakthrough fuel efficiency. The all-new Mazda CX-5 will be that crossover. Better, stronger, smarter. We build Mazdas. What do you drive?
Firestone tires are more than just rubber and tread. They're destination seekers, just like you. They want to go farther and see more of what America has to offer. We want you to see more too. Right now, when you buy 4 eligible Destination or Firehawk tires, you'll receive a $70 Firestone Gas prepaid MasterCard. So you can go wherever you and your tires desire. It's time for your destination summer with Firestone.
Five-hour energy. When I gotta get stuff done.
So, I'm walking down the street, just, walking, and I found myself in the middle of this parade honouring America's troops, which is actually quite fitting because Geico has been serving the military for over 75 years. Oh, no, look, I know this is about the troops and not about me, right, but I don't look like that. Who can I write a letter to about this?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Here we are at the Indianapolis 500, our telecast presented by GoDaddy.com. After 17 laps, there is Dario Franchitti. He is right now shown in 29th position, and here's the reason why.
So what a clear. Okay, it happened early. We got plenty of time to recover.
So actually, he was a little calmer than I expected. Green flag has flown, and boy, Hinchcliffe gets snookered, and so do several others, including Elio Castroneves. We got 3-4 wide. Hang on.
Is that not a traffic jam?
Oh, you don't want to be up in that grade, but they managed to hang on. What a exciting restart.
Remember, first restart with these new cars, first race this year with these new cars on an oval, and they were doing to a single file restart up in turn 4, but by the time they got the start-finish line, boy, it was like 6 abreast, Eddie.
There was no more room.
That was Will Power you saw back there. Here we go side by side, the J.R. Hildebrand in the number 4 car as another car peels off heading for pit lane. That's Newgarden in the very back of the field.
That's a very late pass. Very, very late pass.
Whoa.
And you don't want to be touching that white line.
That was Sebastian Saavedra. He had a pit speed violation, so he has to do a back pass-through as he makes his way down the long, long pit lane. Meanwhile, out on the track, the lead right now is held by the 26 of Marco Andretti.
And Marty, when you talk about pit speed violation, you're supposed to be 60 miles an hour on the pit entrance all the way through to the exit. Obviously, he was above that number.
Fastest car on the last lap was Ryan Briscoe. This time by, it looks like it's going to be Elio Castroneves, who is running back in the 7th position. You're on board with Briscoe. That's Scott Dixon. You can tell the two targeted cars apart. Look for the white trim on the side pods and the mirrors for Dixon's car. That'll help you identify those two.
Now for Marco Andretti, who is leading, he needs to settle into a pace and see if he can turn the fuel trim knob that's on his steering wheel back just a little bit, Eddie, to try to start to save fuel.
I don't think that's possible when you're leading. I think what you have right now is a poker game that's almost being run from the pits, and they're trying to accumulate as much money as they can. It's like saving money. It's a few dollars here, a few dollars there, that towards the end of the race might make the difference of one lap.
Oh, and a nice slice job exactly for that situation with Ryan Briscoe. Good draft down the front stretch and sliding underneath Marco Andretti in turn 1.
And another lead change here at Indianapolis as Marco Andretti's now under attack from his teammate James Hinchcliffe. For Marco, when he did get in the lead, 7th Indianapolis 500 he's been in, 5th time he's led the race. Now he's got to reel in Ryan Briscoe.
Now you have to remember that two cars working together will always be faster around here than one. So the leading car is almost a sitting duck, Scott.
And you know, when I was mentioning about fuel trim, you know, I bet if you turn the fuel trim back, because you're trying to push so much air with these cars, you slow the car down. Maybe you don't have that chance to be able to run in front like we did last year and sort of try and save fuel.
Well, guys, not to get too technical, but the Chevrolets we heard may not be able to trim as much fuel as possible because of the sheer heat that's being generated by the day-to-day in those engines. We'll keep tabs on that. As far as Marco Andretti is concerned, right now he came into this race very confident, more than he has ever been. We talked to him.
I expect to win. I mean, that's what I'm showing up to do. And I truly believe, I mean, if this car replicates the last time I drove it on Sunday, I'm going to be the one to beat.
And there goes Marco just as he finishes up, going right around Ryan Briscoe. This is going to be a fun day at Indianapolis.
And as that pass was completed from our place right here in the broadcast booth, you can hear the roar of the crowd when the Andretti takes lead.
We have had 9 lead changes between 3 different leaders. And you can see the top 6 are still all well within contact.
But nobody has managed to go away.
Oriol Servia looks like he has a flat tire. He has to come in. Rick, what do you have?
Indeed, that is exactly what happened. He was concerned because it was getting very, very loose. He said he thought he had a tire going down. They said, come in and change it. Let's be safe.
Well, that's a tough break for Servia, but it does happen early in the race. Gives him time to fight his way back. Working lap number 25 as they head around turn 2. Whoa! Hinchcliffe got high there in the 3rd car in your picture.
You don't get away with that very often. That's just turning in late to the turn, or possibly the car's not working as well as it did for him. Maybe a little understeer. The front doesn't give you the grip that you want when you turn the wheel, or he missed his turn-in point, but you won't make that mistake and get away with it very often, Eddie.
And if you do, your heart rate's probably up around the 200 zone.
All right, while this continues, want to go back and show you the restart as you'll get a chance on the single file. It didn't look much single about it as, look at this, 5 wide at one point. Let's go on board with Ryan Hunter-Reay.
Just inches up to almost 200 miles an hour on the restart.
All right, there. So now you see Marco Andretti still in front of Ryan Briscoe. Hinchcliffe, Tagliani, Tony Kanaan. That is your top 5. 26. Everybody in the stands was given those glasses in memory of Dan Weldon, and a lot of those folks, they have them on.
Mark Andretti actually looks like the only car so far that's managed to put some distance in this many laps in a row on the rest of the field.